So we had to remove a guest from one of our Airbnbs. We had gotten reports that he was being at least verbally abusive to his girlfriend or this woman that was staying with him. So we're gonna do a little walkthrough and check out the unit after he has cleaned his stuff out, which is right now. So let's take a look. So this is one of our Airbnbs. We run a corner of them, and there's a duplex, a triplex, and a quadplex, basically all on a corner right outside of downtown. And this is one of them. It's a little 1-bedroom, and I'll show you kind of what it looks like here. The reason we decided to run these as Airbnbs is because of the layout in these. These were built in the 1920s, and as you see here, you walk in the door and it is a living room, but then you pass through this opening and it is a bedroom, and then you get to your dining room and your kitchen. So the layout was something that they did back in the 1920s, shotgun style. You have to walk through a bedroom to get to your bathroom and your kitchen. So we totally redid these. These were a total hunk of crap, and now we run them as Airbnbs because the layout is just kind of awkward. We couldn't really completely redesign the layout of these, so we decided to run them as a short-term rental. Not to mention, this renovation happened right as COVID started, so all the prices started ramping up, and we kind of went over budget on this. So it kind of made sense for us to maximize our profits and run these as a short-term rental. I can go over the numbers in another video, which I'm going to do because this is one of the best deals I've ever gotten, because I've only had to put $1,500 into this. It's a duplex, triplex, quadplex. But I'll go over that in another video. This video is about the guest and Airbnb and how Airbnb handles things and why Airbnb is not as easy as everyone makes it out to be. So we had gotten reports of this guest being abusive to his girlfriend. Apparently, the neighbor next door could actually hear him telling his girlfriend to stay on the bed. And I actually came down here at the time, and I peeked in the window, and he was sitting on the couch here just smoking a cigarette, and he wouldn't answer the door. But we actually got Airbnb to cancel his reservation, so I'm checking this unit out, and it looks like, you know, he has done some damage to the unit here. Our cleaner came in here yesterday, and it looks like she cleaned everything up. Obviously, she's not gonna be able to fix all this stuff. But this is the second guest that I've had that has had to be kicked out in the last 2 months. The other guest had some dogs he was claiming as service animals, but they were puppies. I'm a veteran. Service animals are most likely not gonna be puppies. And he was claiming them as service animals, and then he claimed discrimination, but he actually stayed in this unit. I'm starting to wonder if this unit is actually cursed or something, because this is the same one that other guy was in that we had to kick him out. We came in here because it was freezing weather and we had to move him to one of our other units while the water was getting unthawed over here. We came in to clean it, and there was like dog feces and dog urine and all kinds of destruction from these animals. And I'm a veteran. Like, if you've got a service animal, they're usually like an appendage. You take care of them like they are part of you. So I immediately knew this guy was BSing. So we asked to inspect this other unit that he was in. Same story. Dogs were just being left while he was gone and they're puppies. They were just being left to fend for themselves. So we kicked him out. He made a complaint with Airbnb. I had to meet him there so he could get his stuff from the unit. And lo and behold, when I showed up at the unit, his animals were outside on the back porch, and he just left them. He just left these animals that he claimed were service animals out in the freezing cold. And yeah, it was like -10-degree temperatures. And that was a huge ordeal because Airbnb shut down our listing for probably 2 weeks. It was like 14 or 16 days. And they were trying to penalize us for it. It took a lot of hassle to actually get them to side with us. And that's kind of what this video is about. You see all these videos from some of these guys on Bigger Pockets and whatnot, talking about how great Airbnb is, but that's not actually the case. It's very hard to run, especially if you get a bad guest. Not all guests are bad. We have hundreds and hundreds of guests every single year because we have 8 of these, and that's a lot of guests running through here, and probably a very small percentage of them end up needing to have claims be filed on them and having to be kicked out. But the problem is Airbnb is trying to basically be the mediator. They're trying to side with the guest and side with the host. And depending on who you get, somewhere in Malaysia, whatever customer service person you get way out there, they might just side with the guest, and you might have to continually waste your time over and over and over again. There is no sense of urgency with them. They're gonna take their sweet time. So for instance, this hole right here, I'm gonna have to get this fixed. 2 days, come in, patch it, skim coat it, let it dry, come back and finish the repairs, paint it. So that's 2 days down when I can actually get my repair guy to this. So Airbnb is not gonna cover the downtime that I have while fixing this. So I can claim the damage, but I can't claim any lost revenue from this. And most certainly I'm not gonna let a guest check in and this look like this. So it's been 2 days since this guy checked out, and I still haven't had time for my handyman to get over here. He's working on other projects of mine. I've got a house that I'm trying to get ready to sell. So he's over there trying to get that all ready and nice and pinned up so I can list it. So Airbnb is not gonna cover the time that you're down. And when they do cover any damages, it takes weeks to months to get those damages. They also, for instance, they also don't pay you the full price sometimes. So in this particular unit, when that guy stayed here and his dogs destroyed the unit, they messed up one of the rugs and we needed to get a new rug. Okay, well Airbnb asks us, how old is the rug that you have in there? It's a year old. So we send them a link to something comparable, and we send them the receipt to something that we bought to replace it with. Well, Airbnb is going to depreciate that rug similar to they would to a roof. If you got a roof and it's a 15-year roof or whatever, insurance company is going to depreciate those years off that roof, and they're not going to give you full replacement cost in most cases unless you have that specific type of policy that covers the full cost of the replacement. So they're not even paying you the complete cost to replace any of this stuff. Now, I don't want to have to get into fraudulently claiming prices just so I can actually get back the full amount. They just make it very, very difficult, and you never end up whole because of all the time that you've lost. So a lot of people think that Airbnb is this super lucrative thing. It can be, but it's a lot more hands-on. And I don't want to scare anybody away. I think the reason that we have actually had some of these issues in the last 2 months is because these are seasonally slow months. And what we do during seasonally slow months is to actually lower the prices. When you lower the prices, you attract more people to come in and stay there. And higher occupancy is always key. You always want to keep these things full. And having them full at a lower price is better than having them empty and having the nightly rate, much higher. So when you have a lower price, you're going to get a lower quality clientele. Yes, we can screen them. Yes, we do our best. We even have the settings on there where you need to have some sort of reviews, and if not, then it's up to us, and sometimes we get those requests and we have to think about it, maybe do a little search on the internet, some sort of background as best we can, but it doesn't always work out. The guy that stayed here, I thought that he was A-okay. I actually showed up here when he was supposedly yelling and screaming at his girlfriend, and he's a bigger guy, and I had to come over here in the middle of the night, and of course I conceal carry, and I'm like, I don't want to show up here. I don't want to have to show up in the middle of the night trying to kick somebody out. And the guy was getting pretty aggressive, so I was just like, look, you're gonna have to handle it with Airbnb, and he just wasn't having any of it. And luckily, This time, Airbnb handled it and was able to kind of ease him out of the unit. And I know we can kick him out. Basically, in my local area, if you're under a short-term rental, they treat it just like a hotel, and you can shut off utilities or whatever. Police won't get involved for trespassing or anything like that, but you can kind of force these people out. And luckily, it did not come to that. And so far, he hasn't made any false allegations against us with Airbnb. The last guest made false accusations against us, and our Airbnb was shut down for 15 days or whatever it was, 14, 16 days. So you gotta be very careful. You gotta know how to maneuver with Airbnb in order for them to side with you. You gotta have all kinds of documentation. This guy was smoking in here. I've had plenty of guests smoke. I've tried to get money for it. Airbnb asks for proof. What am I supposed to do? Do I go into the window and be some kind of peeping Tom, snapping pictures of them smoking inside the unit? No, that's ridiculous. They just don't take the host's word for it. And it's kind of frustrating because I have 8 Airbnbs. I'm not saying I'm the biggest contributor to Airbnb's profits, but I definitely feel like me running this many Airbnbs and having this many guests stay here, they should actually trust that we're actually trying to do the right thing in most cases. Anyways, that's what I got for this video. It's probably a lot of rambling, but for anybody that's thinking about getting into Airbnbs, feel free to reach out, drop it in the comments down below if you got any questions. I'm by no means an expert, but again, I've been doing this for probably 3 years, and we've got 8 of these, so we see plenty of things. It's definitely not the most high-end Airbnb, so we do see some, some things that some other people might not experience because of the clientele. I mean, these are $60 to $70 a night right now. They get up towards $100 a night in the summertime, but I'm in a city in the Midwest, so we can't really get those higher rates here unless there's like some crazy thing going on, like some PGA Tour or something like that, and the rates just go through the roof. But you got any questions about real estate investing, Airbnbs, drop in the comment down below. Hopefully I wasn't rambling too much. Thanks for watching.